In this slide, I am going to explain about principles of plant layout. What are the principles to be followed for designing a good plant layout? First one is a principle of integration. A good layout is one that integrates men, materials, missions, and supporting services in order to get the optimum utilization of resources and maximum effectiveness. Integration means what? Combining all the resources at one place for smooth running and efficient running of the business organization. You have to arrange all the input resources in the proper way, proper manner. Next, coming to the principle of minimum distance. This principle is concerned with the minimum travel or movements of men or movements of materials. The facilities should be arranged in such a way that the total distance travelled by the men and materials should be minimum. And as far as possible, straight line movement should be preferred. This is a principle of minimum distance. Third principle of cubic space utilization. Cubic space means you have to utilize all the three dimensions: length, width, and height also. Particularly, for example, in case of godowns, if we increase third dimension of the godown, that is height, then we can store many number of items. We can store large quantities. That is the third dimension. The good layout is one that utilizes both horizontal and vertical space. It is not only enough if only the floor space is utilized optimally, but the third dimension, that means height, is also to be utilized effectively. This is the principle of cubic space utilization. Next, principle of flow. This flow word is related to materials. Again, material movements. A good layout is one that makes the materials to move in forward direction towards the completion stage. There should not be any backtracking of materials. Backtracking means coming and forward, back. Frequently, some materials may be unnecessarily moves this side and that side. This is nothing but backtracking. That unnecessary movements should be avoided by the good layout of plant for flow of materials smoothly. The next principle is the principle of maximum flexibility. Flexibility in the sense, by using the same plant, if we are able to produce varieties of products, means just by changing layout, that plant has flexibility. Some of the plants may not have flexibility to accommodate product variety. Therefore, the good layout is one that can be altered without much cost as well as time. That means in case of future, requirements should be taken into account while designing the present layout. Future requirements should be taken into account while designing the present layout. This is about the principle of maximum flexibility. Next, coming to the principle of safety, security and satisfaction. This principle is related to manpower side or worker side. A good layout is one that gives due consideration to workers' safety and satisfaction and safeguards the plant and machinery against fire, etc., theft, etc. Next, last one is the principle of minimum handling. Handling means material handling. A good layout is one that reduces the material handling movements to the minimum level. Material movements should be minimum. Based on all these principles, a plant is designed. Next, coming to the what are the factors influencing plant layout. First, I would like to list out all the factors, then I will explain one by one. Plant location is one of the important factor influencing on plant layout. Second one is the managerial policies. Depending upon the management decision, this layout changes, plant layout changes. Similarly, based on the method of manufacturing, plant layout changes. And also based on the type of industry, plant layout changes. Similarly, type of products. It may be heavy weight or light weight, or sometimes it may be solid, liquid or gases, etc. Depending upon the type of product, plant layout changes. So I would like to explain one by one. First important factor, plant location. How the plant location affect on plant layout. To establish any factory, it requires some land. That land size should be very important. There are different sizes. In terms of acres, you can talk. The size of the location is important. Size. Similarly, shape. Which shape? It may be rectangle, it may be square, it may be triangle, etc. Shape also plays a vital role. So, in order to select one location, these parameters we have to think. The size of the plant, shape of the land, and topography of the site. Topography, that means nearby factory, is there any facilities are there? Road facilities, railways, etc. Based on these factors, we are going to design buildings. And accordingly, we are going to arrange all the machines in a particular order. Then only we can produce the products very smoothly, without interruption and without delays. Second important point is the managerial. The type of layout is suitable for a plant is influenced by the managerial policies and decisions with regard to the nature and quality of the products, and also amount of inventory to be carried out. What do you mean by inventory? Amount of stock to be carried out. stock may be materials, and the kind of employee facilities to be provided, and also depending upon the plans for the future expansion. If the management wants to increase the plant in future means it has to acquire more amount of land and also arrange all the facilities within the available space in an efficient. Next, type of industry. Industries are classified with respect to the process of manufacture, such as some of the manufacturers industries may be synthetic process, some of the industries may be analytic process, some of the industries may be conditioning process, and rest of them may be extractive process. What do you mean by synthetic process? What is the example comes under this category? All cement plants comes under this group, synthetic process. To produce cement, we need some materials. By mixing of limestone and clay, we can produce cement. That means when we use two or more materials are mixed together to get product. Here product means cement. That process is known as synthetic process. By combining two materials, we are getting only one ingredient known as cement. This is the synthetic process. Next, coming to the analytic process. What is meant by analytic process? It is exactly opposite to the synthetic process. Example is refining of petroleum. After refining of crude oil, we can produce petrol, we can produce diesel. These are the different byproducts. We can produce kerosene, we can produce tar. All are byproducts from the crude oil. Therefore, this is the analytic process. It is nothing but the breaking up of a material into several parts. It is nothing but the analytic process. Exactly opposite to the synthetic process. Next, coming to the conditioning process. Conditioning means exactly raw material is changed into a desired product or finished product. Physically there is no change, but climatic conditions are changing. The suitable example is jute industry. In jute industry, climatic conditions are humidity, etc. Climatic conditions are important. Similarly, extractive process. Extraction. Aluminum is extracted from bauxite aluminum. That means manufacture of aluminum is the extractive process. In this process, we are going to apply some heat, and also desired product is extracted from the original raw material known as bauxite. These are the various types of process. Next, coming to the method of production. The methods of production may be three categories. One is job order production, second one is batch production, third one is mass production. Depending upon the method of production also, layout changes. In the earlier classes, I already explained about these type of productions, that is job order production, batch production and mass production. What are the examples comes under job order production? Shipbuilding, automobile body building, special equipment, etc. All are expensive items. Based on the customer order, manufacturers are going to produce. Whereas in case of batch production, standard products are produced in the factory in lots or batches in anticipation of sales. Based on the customer demand, products are produced in required quantities and at the required times. Similarly, mass production is suitable for large scale industries. Huge quantities are produced. Oil refineries, steel plants, cement plants, etc. Dairies, milk dairies, etc. Next, coming to the type of products. Type of product also influencing on plant layout. Some of the products may be lightweight, some of the products may be heavy weight, etc. Depending upon the weight also, the layout changes. That material handling equipment changes, and also depending upon the product nature. That means product may be solid, liquid or gases. Depending upon the type of medium, we have to design the plant. In this slide, I am going to explain about types of plant layouts. There are 4 important plant layouts. First, list out all the plant layouts. Product layout, it is also named as line layout. Second one is a process layout, also known as a functional layout. Third one is a fixed position layout, also known as a static layout. Sometimes we can call it as stationary layout. Lastly, combination layout. In the name itself, we can observe one thing. Combination means combining 2 types of layouts. What are they? They are one is the product layout, second one is the process layout. In combination layout, we are going to combine 2 layouts, that is product and process. First, I would like to explain about product layout. Before entering into the definition of the product, what is the application of this layout? Where we can use, where we can implement this type of layout. This product layout is suitable for mass production. In mass production, large quantities of products are produced within less time. That means high production rate is applicable in this type of production. So, the applications of this product layout is, it is suitable for continuous production or production of standardized parts in large quantities. Steel plants, oil refineries, cement plants, etc. These are the examples, comes under product layout. Next, coming to the definition of product layout. How we can define? In product layout, all the missions are arranged according to the sequence of operations. From this diagram, it is observed that raw materials enters at one end and flows in a line from one process to the next and leaves at the other end as a finished product. This is observed in that figure. So this layout, that means product layout, is also known as line layout. Because missions are arranged in a straight line. Therefore, there is no interruption for the materials. This layout belongs to smooth flow of materials. Next, coming to the merits of this product layout. In this layout, there is a reduction in the production time, because materials are flowing smoothly without any interruption. Therefore, reduced unit production time, and also no need to involve any material handling equipment. Therefore, there is a lot of saving in material handling cost and transportation time, and also reduced work in process inventory. There is no problem of inventory because in this layout the material enters at one end and flows in a line from one process to the next and leaves at the other end as a finished product. So this flow is not smooth. We cannot see any stock in this type of layout. Known as stock is nothing but the work in process in. Coming to the occupied area, this product layout requires less floor space. Less floor space for the same volume of production. Volume means it is a quantity produced. When we compare with the process layout occupies more floor area. This product layout occupies less floor area, but the amount is same volume of production. Some more advantages of this layout are utilization of manpower. In this layout, we can observe that effective use of less skilled manpower. First of all, product layout requires unskilled labor. It requires very less skilled labor. Therefore, we can save money on labor side. And also production planning and control. Production planning and control becomes easy and simple in case of product layout, because each time job is same. Therefore, production planning, control and everything is simple and easy. And also better coordination among the missions. Regarding to materials, in this layout we can observe smooth flow of materials. Along with merits, some demerits also there are limitations. First severe drawback or limitation of this product layout is breakdown. Breakdown of any one mission leads to complete stoppage of production line. This is a severe drawback. In the entire production line, if any one mission breakdown means production stops, entire production. That is severe drawback. And also, there is no flexibility is available. That means flexibility means a change in product involves a major changes in layout. That is not there in product layout. Similarly, initial investment is more, particularly investment made on machinery, automatic machines. In mass production, we will use automatic machines. The cost spent on automatic machines is very high. Therefore, initial investment is more. And also, it is difficult to obtain line balancing. So, more idle time of machines and equipment due to line balancing problem. These are the very few limitations of this product layout. From this diagram, we can observe that there are two products are producing, product A and product B. What are the applications or suitability? This product layout is also applicable to automotive industries, electrical industries, electronic industries, where manufacturing cycle time is shorter. This is about product layout. Next, coming to the process layout. Process layout is also known as functional layout. In the name itself, we can observe one thing. Process layout, machines are arranged according to their functions or groups in separate departments. In other words, machines performing similar type of operations are grouped and placed at one location. That is, all lathe machines are located at one place known as lathe section. Similarly, all milling machines are located at some other place known as milling section, drilling section, and so on. From this diagram, we can observe that there are two parts, part 1 and part 2. The sequence of operations are different from part 1 to part 2. For example, I have shown two parts. Likewise, we can show many number of products. For every product, routing is different. Regarding to space point of view, this process layout occupies more floor area when compared with the product layout. So next, coming to the definition of process layout. How we can define? In this type of layout, machines are arranged according to their functions in separated departments. Therefore, it is suitable for non-standardized items of low volumes of production. Low volume is nothing but the less quantity, but variety is there. For example, one category type of machines are placed in one department, all welding machines are placed at one place, all lathe machines are placed at some other place, and so on. Next, coming to the application. This type of layout is generally employed for industries engaged in job order production and non-repetitive kind of maintenance or manufacturing activity. Next, I would like to explain about the merits of this process layout. First point is variety. This process layout is adaptable to produce varieties of products. That's why this layout is preferred in job order production as well as batch. Second point is more flexible. This process layout is more flexible to do various types of operations. Therefore, it is adaptable to change in sequence of operations. Here, machines are not arranged according to the sequence of operations. Based on their functions, machines are arranged. That's why it is more flexible, as well as better utilization of the available equipment, particularly in this process layout. One more important merit of this layout is breakdown. Breakdown of any one machine does not affect on production. If any one machine breakdown means we can utilize some other machine, some other related machine, but work will not stop, never stop. We can take the service of other machine, related machine. Next, better supervision due to specialized process. Here, in process layout, there are some experts are there in every department. Therefore, supervision is also better and good when compared with the product layout. And also, we can expect better product quality because the supervisors and workers attend to one type of machines and operations. They are dealing with one type. There is some specialization. Similarly, initial investment is less. Why it is less? In this process layout, we are applying general purpose machines. The cost of general purpose machines are less than special purpose machines. Special purpose machines are nothing but the costless machines. They are fully dedicated to one type of work. Maybe in the automation comes under special purpose machines, fully automated. Along with some merits, this layout has some limitations. This process layout occupies first point is process layout occupies more space. That means in process layout departments are there. One department occupies more space. Therefore, for the same amount of production, process layout occupies more space when compared with the product. Similarly, work in process inventory is in stock of materials is large. Some of the products may be weights in this layout depending upon the processing types. Similarly, production, planning and control becomes difficult. Everything is difficult because each time job is different. That's why this is most suitable for job order industries and the batch type of industry. This process, this layout, in this layout, material handling cost is more. Why it is more? Because raw material has to travel larger distances for being processed to finished goods. This increases the material handling and associated costs, material handling costs. These are the limitations of the process layout. Next, coming to the third type of layout, fixed position layout. It is also known as static layout or stationary layout. In this layout, the raw materials and major components remains in a fixed location. Whereas other resources such as tools, machinery, men and other supporting equipment are brought to the product location. In this layout, the cost of movement of men, machinery, equipment is cheaper than the cost of moving the product, which is bulky. Bulky means heavy in weight. What are the examples? Let us consider the example of shipbuilding. In shipbuilding, major raw materials, major skeleton remains stationary at one location. To that location, remaining resources, that means maybe machines, tools, workers may be carried out, work may be carried out in that location. Shipbuilding is one of the example. Similarly, aircraft manufacturing is another example. This is also heavy in weight, heavyweight product. Wagon building, heavy construction of dams, bridges, buildings. All these examples come under fixed position layout. Next, coming to the merits of fixed position layout. What are the merits involved? Here, handling of major assembly is reduced. There are no material movements, and it is almost, this layout is almost flexible in all aspects. And also frequent change in product design. Due to frequent change in product design, sequence of operations are also changes. If necessary, we are going to change the sequence of operations. Capital investment is minimum. All machinery may be general purpose machines. Very few machines may be material handling. Very few equipment may be costlier machines. Therefore, continuity of operations are possible, particularly in fixed position layout. We cannot see any particular sequence of operations. A group of people are carried out this type of products. Therefore, we can expect less production cost in this fixed position layout. Next, coming to the disadvantages of fixed position layout or limitations. A few limitations are there. In this layout, highly skilled workers are required. Cost spent on skilled labor is again high. This is a limitation. Similarly, complicated jigs and fixtures are needed, particularly in this layout. What do you mean by jig? What do you mean by fix? Jig is a device used to hold the tools, but fixer is a device used to hold the workpieces. This is the costliest equipment. So this is one of the limitation. Also, machines and tools takes more time to reach to the workplace. This is also another limitation. Very few disadvantages we can see in this fixed position layout. Coming to the combination layout. Nowadays, pure product, pure process layouts are rare. In practice, in practical situations, in this slide, I am going to explain about combination layout. In real situations or practical situations, plants are rarely laid out either in product or process layout form. Generally, a combination of the two basic layouts is employed to derive the advantages of both type of layouts, known as one is product layout and another one is the process layout. In the name itself, we can observe one thing: combination layout. Combination means combining two types of layouts, two or more. Here, which type of layouts we are combining? One is product layout, second one is the process layout. These two layouts we are going to combine. What are the examples comes under this combination layout? Car manufacturing industry comes under this combination layout. How we can justify this statement? A car requires several components, several items. These components or several items are manufactured at an individual unit. Finally, car is designed, car is assembled, So assembly operation is carried out by product layout. Individual components are manufactured by using process layout. Similarly, gear manufacturing industry. In gear manufacturing industry, different types of gears are manufactured with different sizes. For all the gears, sequence of operations are same, but there may be a change in the mission specifications. Missions may changes. Capacity of the mission may be changed. Type of gear may be changed. From this diagram, it is observed that raw material is coming from storeroom, and the first operation is the forging operation carried out by the forging hammer. F means forging hammer. GC means gear cutting machine for cutting gear teeth. Third operation is the heat treatment. HT means heat treatment process. This is the third operation. And last one is the GF is the gear finishing. So different types of gears are manufactured by using process layout, but every gear finally all the operations are carried out by using product layout. Therefore, combining both product and the process layouts. Coming to the merits and demerits, the combination of product and the process layouts combines the advantages of both types of layouts. This is possible where an item is being in different types and sizes. The machines are arranged in a process grouping in a sequence to manufacture various types and sizes of products. This combination layout is useful when a number of items are produced in a same sequence, but none of the items are to be produced in a bulk quantity. Bulk quantity means huge amounts.